Welcome to She Speaks, Voices of Empowerment. I'm Anne-Marie.
And I'm Shantae, and we're thrilled to have you join us on this incredible journey.
In each episode, we'll explore the inspiring world of women's stories through candid conversations with remarkable women from various industries.
From life advice and personal growth to navigating careers and breaking barriers, our guests will share their journeys, insights, and the valuable lessons they've learned along the way.
So whether you're looking for motivation, practical advice, or just a good dose of inspiration, She Speaks is your go-to podcast for celebrating the strength and resilience of women everywhere.
So prepare to be inspired and empowered as we uncover the power of sharing our stories.
Let's start speaking! Hey girl!
We laugh because, should I tell them?
Yes.
So my husband doesn't think "Hey girl" is a good intro, so we're just doing it and we're looking at him on the side. He's cringing, guys.
He literally, I think after the first episode, he's like, you guys say that so much. Are you sure you want to go with it? And we're like, yeah.
It's now part of the brand. We can't let it go.
Well, our WhatsApp messages to one another. Hey girl!
But it's not with an I, it's with an
With a U.
It's a girl.
Girl.
But welcome back, guys. We're so excited for today's episode. We've got Suzette, aka
Move With Suz.
Move With Suz. She is an incredible woman that focuses on fitness. She's got her own business at Lawrenceford Farm. I mean, how cool is that?
It's amazing, guys. The view, everything, just, exquisite.
Yeah, and we're going to touch on a few topics. Do you want to?
She's going to speak to us about the importance of strength training and just, bust some myths.
Yes.
I think the big one that's going to be coming up is creatine.
Creatine for women.
For women especially. A lot of controversies surrounding creatine and just, women using it. So it's just great to also hear her professional opinion on it.
Yes, and she is a very, how can I say, an influential person. Her mind is very strong because you will hear in the episode, but she did a lot of challenges and she loves mental and physical challenges. Yeah. Last year, she did the 500. I don't know, is that what you call it?
It's a week. The vernacular is the 500. But it's like a 500 kilometer cycle and you have about a day to complete it, 24 hours. And she's been the only woman to complete it within 24 hours.
The only woman.
Also to complete it, I believe.
I'm not sure, but she can correct us.
Yes.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But she did it in 24 hours.
She did it in 24 hours.
But she's going to speak a lot about just her mindset in life and when it comes to fitness. And I think it's so cool because I think when it comes to fitness, we need to have balance, but we also need to have real talk when we take care of ourselves because it's a lifestyle for the future and for when we get older to actually maintain our health. Yeah. So we're very excited, guys, and I hope you enjoy the episode.
Thank you, guys. See you in the episode. Bye.
Welcome,
Suzette, aka Move With Suz.
To start out, welcome.
Thank you.
And Suzette, can you please tell us a little bit about who you are?
Firstly, I just want to say I am Move With Suz in the physical of moving your body. I don't help you move your house. Because I stop in the shops and then people are like, do you help people move? And I'm like, no. Yes, your body,
yes, but no.
Not your house. I don't move your house, yes. So I am Suz, or Suzette. I am a mother of 3 great kids. They are 21, 18, and 12 years old. And I probably had about 25 years of experience in the fitness industry. I studied sports and fitness and worked for big gyms and open gyms, open spinning studios, and of late, the past 2 years, officially went on my own and opened my own studio on Lawrenceford Farm. Yeah.
What a beautiful location.
Yeah.
It is. It was an absolute miracle. I didn't expect to get that location at all. But it was meant to be, and I love being there. I sold my house to actually build the business.
Sure.
Sold my family home of 35 years to build the business. And my house sold in 4 days, and I didn't have a house to go to.
Oh my word! I'm just having like a moment. Your house, you had to pack. You had to pack up everything.
They didn't have a for sale sign out on the yard yet, and it was sold in 4 days. And
I actually have like goosebumps.
Yeah, it was, as I said, was meant to be. I've been hanging on to the house for a long time, and it wasn't supposed to. I was hoping to keep the house in the family because I was 11 when I moved into the house. So I bought the house over from my parents, and they were fine with. They were saying sell, sell, sell a long time ago, and I was trying to hold on, and eventually decided, you know what? Okay, I need to. Yeah.
If it sells so fast, you're like, okay, it really.
Yes, it was meant to be, but then I was like, okay, what now? So where do I go?
Yeah.
So I then eventually.
You sleep in the fitness studio.
I won't go down the road of how I actually got to Lawrenceford, but eventually when I did get Lawrenceford, signed the contract, and I'm like, okay, now I need a house. Where am I going to live? I've got a workspace, but I don't have a house. And then took the faith leap and asked Lawrenceford, do you maybe have a house for me? And yeah, we've got a little house on the farm as well.
That's so cool! Oh my gosh!
You live on Lawrenceford farm.
It's my shack. It's my shack in paradise because it was a storage house that hadn't been lived in for 4 years. It's run down. It falls apart. It's got wooden floors and a fireplace, and I love it. So it's 700 meters from my gym.
That's amazing.
I
and $1 million view.
And yes, the mountains and the vineyards, and it really is amazing. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So that's me.
I know you say you don't want to go down the rabbit hole, but like, how do you?
We like rabbits.
How long do we have?
But I didn't even know that you could like rent a space at Lawrenceford for a gym, like as a private person. Because obviously we're seeing Paddle X, we're seeing all these things there. But like, how did you, as like a private person?
Yeah, I didn't think I was good enough to be there. So I initially had a different option available, or I was told there is this option available, and I was pursuing that option the whole time, and it never came through. And I had a client that was gymming with me, and she said, "Oh well, I'm opening up a cold plunge studio at Lawrenceford. Why don't you just ask them?" And I'm like, nah, I won't. There's no ways. And if I do get in, there's no ways I could afford it. There's just like, no. So I've kept on pursuing this one avenue, and the doors kept on closing. And then I was like, I've got nothing to lose.
Yeah.
So I sent a 5-liner email to the owner of Lawrenceford, and I said, this is who I am. Do you maybe have space for me? Pressed send on the email, walked up the stairs, and here the phone rings, and it's the owner of Lawrenceford
Farm. Goosebumps!
This needed to happen.
Yeah, it was. I was like, it's one of those things where you kind of pushing on doors, and God's actually got another door for you, and you just like, you stubborn and just no, you know. Anyway, so that's how it happened, and then he said, well, I don't have space for you, but I'll go and see what I can make. And then he phoned me on a Saturday afternoon and said, you know, I've made space for you. Phone the farm manager, go and look and see if this can work for you.
That's incredible.
So it was right across my friend and client that was opening the cold plunge. But it meant 3 offices had to move and quite a bit of renovations for me and my pocket. And yeah, they actually lowered the rent because I needed to do a lot of renovations.
Oh, nice.
But afterwards, I only realized how significant it was because there's 50 businesses on the farm. Yeah. And every time someone would come over to meet, because who's this like gym? What's the gym? What's the gym? You know, they're like, how did you get it right? Because we've been trying for 7 years, and every time someone puts in a gym proposal, it's declined. They're like, what did you do? And I'm like, I didn't do anything.
Jesus. I had Jesus.
I didn't do anything. Well, I did. I had 20 years of hard work and preparation to step into this dream.
Yeah.
So it's not like I didn't do anything, but it was the right thing at the right time, and it was meant to be.
And for the people not in Somerset West, they just need to know how beautiful Lawrenceford is. It's a beautiful farm with what is on it, everything. There's
there's everything.
Flower picking, paddle, restaurants.
There's even a film studio.
Oh
wow, I didn't even know about the film studio. Apparently there's a nice ice cream place as well.
There's a nice ice cream place, there's putt-putt, there's art jamming.
Yeah.
There's mountain biking.
On a Friday we gym and then we gym.
Oh, hey!
There's the mountain biking.
There's a clay pigeon shooting.
There's a spa, there's massages, there's even doctors now. now. I've had the doctors also ask me if I could help them with rehab for heart patients and things like that. So there's doctors there. Yeah, it's
basically
huge.
If you think Somerset West, like the picture of the surrounding areas that comes to mind, it's Lawrenceford. Like that's basically
but you'll be surprised how
is.
people from other places don't know Lawrenceford. They don't.
I'm pretty sure they know. They just
don't
know Lawrenceford, but they know that they know the picture, but they yeah.
I kind of can't hide my face when people say, "Where's Lawrenceford?" I'm like,
yeah, like what do you mean? Sorry to be you.
But yeah, that's really cool.
But it is really amazing because I've recently joined Vitality. So now Vitality clients get an X amount of free classes. So at any Vitality gym, wherever you go in South Africa. So people then just book via Vitality. So I now had 2 clients that they're like, oh, we're just here for the day. We're from the northern suburbs and we thought we'll try your gym. So it's nice for exposure for people that don't necessarily come to Somerset West every day.
Yeah.
I want to know, how did you become so passionate about exercise? Like, this is something that's really big in your life. When did it start?
So I think as a child, I really loved sport. I've got a dad that's really sporty. And we were always encouraged by my parents to participate in sport. And back then it was health and racket. And we would go with my parents to the gym. And it was cultivating that consistency in going. I never saw it as being forced, but maybe kids of today would think it that my parents are forcing me to gym or train or whatever. But it was normal for us. And I would cycle with my bike to school and do sport and go home. So I really loved sport. But I think my passion is to help people. And I am often referred to my previous life, not in another realm, but 10 years ago I helped women in crisis with unwanted pregnancies. So I've doulaed over 200 babies into this world.
Oh my word!
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's my previous life. And then we would help the mothers that wanted to perhaps either choose adoption or keep their babies or whatever. We were very adoption focused, but we would help moms if they wanted to keep their babies, move on to a home that can assist them. Mm-hmm. So I had 7 women staying with me, and then in the last trimester of their pregnancy, and then I'd help them through the birth, choosing parents, how to deal with giving your baby up for adoption and all of that. But it's you can imagine it's hard. It's very sad. I had 11, 12-year-old girls staying with me. So you see a lot of the sad part. Yeah. But my passion has always been to help people. And after 5 years, I realized that I'm going to become an emotional wreck if I stay in this industry. Let me go back to my first love, which is sport, and help people that way. So then I started spinning, and I was in gym management before, but then went into actually more of the coaching part. And for me, it was such a rewarding thing to see how happy people become through exercise, how you feel better. When those feel-good hormones get discharged afterwards, you just feel so good. And then if you can be consistent to then see the results, that's so much more rewarding. So I've always had a passion to help people, and I think that's where my secret is, because in a gym, you're just a number. But in a small studio setup like this, I take a maximum of 12 people, you actually feel that you actually get to know every single person. Yeah. And that person feels that they are important and that you care about their well-being and you're on a journey with them and you're not just another number.
I think that's the important thing, like having someone to hold you accountable. You know, this person is on the journey with you, they're invested in my results, and that helps you to stay motivated, to be like, oh yeah, I can do this, I can do this, I can keep showing up for myself day in and day out.
And I'm the little voice on their shoulder, like when they've done something naughty, they kind of feel they have to confess to me.
Are you sure about that?
Our motto is, we train so that we can eat and drink and enjoy life. We want to have a good life, so we train to enjoy other pleasures. It's all about balance.
It's balance.
It's not. I mean, eating is my worst. I love food too much, but it's about that balance and also that accountability, as you mentioned. So even when they feel like, oh, something's come up, I have to cancel, they send me a message and they feel they have to tell me why they're cancelling. I'm like, I didn't expect this.
Yeah.
And I think the challenge for me is, well, it is a challenge, but as the business grows, I now have 100 clients that come.
Sure.
But if I say one day have 300, well, I still know each one individually. So my focus was to actually build a culture of women and men supporting each other.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So when I was off with foot surgery recently, the business continued and the culture continued.
That is incredible.
Because that's what it's about. I have people in the Lani Erin Vale, and I have people in your normal average neighborhood, and they all support each other, and they're all there to actually be there for each other.
Yeah.
So that's what it's about for me, is that culture of we care about each other, let's support each other on this health and fitness journey.
And it actually promotes a lifestyle. It's
a
not
lifestyle,
just
yes.
exercise to look good.
Yes.
It's like exercise is part of your lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And also, you know, I never did year contracts or whatever. I might go into that into the future. And people said, but you know, you're taking a risk, because how do you know that person's going to stay? I'm like, they'll want to stay. That's my goal, is that they come and they want to stay. And so my business has grown. So, yeah.
So you say that you have mostly women in your studio. You have some men, but it's mostly women-based. So I think for the female listeners out there, what are some fears that you've seen in women, you know, when it comes to exercise? What are women kind of scared of? What are some of those little juicy bits that you can
Wearing
spill?
your bra inside out. Or when at 6 a.m. and you realize, oh, but the tag of my pants is on the outside. I need to change my pants. Sorry. No, so I think I love to empower women, and weight training has been very underestimated or moved into it's a male thing.
Yeah.
And more of late, women have realized, and studies have shown us how important weight training is, and strength training specific. And women say, you know what, I can't go into the gym and walk into the weight section and have all these guys looking at me, or men telling me you're doing it wrong, or I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's so intimidating.
Very intimidating. So I think that has been the most empowering thing, is to actually see women lifting weights.
Yeah.
And it's not to get big and bulky. That is the biggest misconception, is women think, I don't want to do heavy weights because I'm going to get big. You're not going to get big. Because fat is a lot bigger than muscle, and it weighs the same. So you can have this little piece of fat and this bigger muscle, and they weigh exactly the same. But in centimeters, you're going to be smaller.
Yeah.
So there's this huge misconception that I'm going to get big and bulky, and I don't want to get bulky. You'll not get bulky.
Yeah.
I train every day with my clients. I'm not big and bulky.
I wish we could do like a little 360 of what you look like, because people need to understand
Socials.
like how.
Go to the socials.
Go to her socials. Go to
You'll
Move
see her
on the
muscles.
socials.
Yeah, muscles,
She's got muscles everywhere.
Beautiful.
Bubbles.
Yeah.
And my one client keeps saying, I want bubbles like you. How can I get bubbles like you? I'm like, well, you have to train 15 hours a week. So, let's get back to the question. So just empowering women to actually feel that they are confident lifting weights. Yes, majority women want to lose weight, but there are those that want to pick up weight. And I've got a few of those. And there's one lady that's now picked up 4 kilograms of muscle, and she's the skinny lady. She's amazing. But she deadlifts 50 kilograms, you know? Okay. So, and that's just so empowering. Yeah. And so for me, it's really giving women confidence in I can lift weights, I can have the right posture. And that's why I like to stay with small groups, because I want to show women the right way, so that you have, and men, because you'll be surprised at how many men have wrong postures. And they say, I've been gymming my whole life.
I've been gymming, I'm a gym bro, I can do this.
And then as a girl, I have to tell them, listen, your posture's not right.
But have you had clients actually come in? Because I'm wondering, with this misconception about lifting weights, I'm sure people come to you and they're like, oh, I just do cardio. Do you still get people that come with that mindset, and you need to kind of introduce to them, okay, you need to also work on your strength?
You know what? Not if they, by the time they come to me, they've realized I can't just do cardio, because that's why they're reaching out. So they'll come to me. I just saw a lady now that says, I swim. I do open water swimming. I do this, but I realize I have to do strength training. So by the time they sit with me, then they've realized I have to do strength training.
Okay, no, that's good. But yeah, but I think getting to that process, it would be cool to actually influence people to say, because I know you've got a story about your running, and actually realizing you need to tell that story. Yeah, you need to. Go.
No, I just know that I needed to do strength training because with my running, I thought I was working out my legs because you're running with your legs, so your legs are working. But no, I wasn't strength training my legs. I wasn't conditioning that unilateral.
Yeah. And you know, no offense, but runners have the worst bodies.
Oh,
they have saggy butts. Cellulite.
I've got cellulite. I don't have a
Yeah, you've got age on your side. When you get old, if you just run, when you get old, they've got these saggy, horrible bodies.
One thing that I've heard, I don't know if this is true, but they say that people that kind of stop exercising in their late 20s, early 30s, you only see the results of that later in life. Have you dealt with clients that maybe stopped exercising and then started?
Yes,
And
if depending on how long you stop, obviously. I recently had a 72-year-old lady start with me. She was active in her younger years, and she said, I wish I never stopped. So there's always regrets. And I'm a person, even with my family and my children, I'm like, don't give me the problem. Let's talk about the solution. You know, yes, you're sad about the fact that why should I have stopped? Or what usually happens is people get sick, then that's off for a week, and then, okay, I need to recover, off for another week, and then, okay, this happens, and then off for, and then eventually you fall out of it. And then a month later you come back and you're like, why did I ever stop? So forget about it. You stopped. Let's get moving again. So yes, it does happen a lot that people stop because it's a lifestyle and it's not easy because consistency is the biggest thing for exercise. You're not going to see results in a month. You're not going to see results in 2 months. You're lucky if you see results in 2 months. Minimum 3 months is when you start to see results. Recently with my foot injury, I had an operation 2 weeks ago. And I was doing research specifically because I knew I was not going to be able to exercise. And I spoke to the doctors and everything, and they, you know, for 2 weeks, if you're a normal trainer, you do your exercise, whatever. If you go on holiday and for 2 weeks you don't do any exercise, you won't lose an ounce of muscle. So you say for 2 weeks. But after 2 weeks, it starts dropping drastically. So now with 4 weeks, I have one very small calf. And I'm like...
No.
So you... Over a long period of time, you lose a lot of muscle mass. And after the age of 30, it increases drastically. The amount of muscle mass you lose every year.
It's just really scary. But you know, it frustrates me so much also when I especially like older people. I love them and I have a couple of them in my life. But when they tell me, oh, I don't have time for exercise, I can't do this right now. But then they're the same ones complaining, oh, my back hurts. And I'm just like, do you know what? Just do. And also there's this one person in my life. They probably don't even listen to the podcast. But the point is they like golf. And they want to, you know, continue on golfing, and they're complaining about the fact that they can't do that twirl, not the twirl, but the rotation movement to do the swing, and like, oh, they need to stretch. I'm like, no, I think you actually need to rather, you know, and I've shown do some lat exercises, some core engagement exercises, just to get that developed, because by having the developed muscle, you'll be able to do the rotation. And they're like, no, I think I just need to stretch. And I'm just like, okay, that's fine. That's okay. That's okay.
You know, in the fitness industry, you get a lot of opinions and people will stay in their safe space.
Yeah.
So when I have people telling me what they want to do, then I leave them. Because I'm not going to convince you. You need to convince yourself. Or I have a friend or a client that says, you know what, I've got this friend. You have to phone her. She must come and train with you. I'm like, no. She must want to be here. I can help you if you want to be helped.
Oh, that's
so you get a lot of people. You get a lot of people that think they know best. And I've learned over the years to not even try and convince them, because you're not going to convince them. They have to reach a point in themselves where they realize, okay, and it's a balance. Yes, you do need stretch and stability as well. That's also one of the programs I do.
Yeah.
But, especially with sports specific. So I've got professional tennis players that train with me, kids. high school, they're number one in South Africa. Or their parents train with me, and because of that, now the kids have also come and done rehab and things. The problem is with sports like that and golf, you're training one side of your body the whole time.
Yes.
We have a dominant side naturally. Even if you're doing a ball sports, I've got a polo player with me, a water polo player. You're always using one side your strong side. And you have to do both sides.
Yeah.
Even to help your sport, you have to do both sides.
Yeah.
I recently went for an in-body scan to really see how much muscle I have in my body. Left, right, upper body, lower body, body fat.
Like a DEXA
everything.
scan.
Yeah. And what was really interesting for me is to see that in my upper body, and this was 2 months after my shoulder operation, I had the exact same muscle mass in my left arm than in my right arm. And I'm left-handed, and I had the operation on my right arm, and I had exactly the same amount of muscle mass.
So you did the right thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, legs were a little bit different because I've had a knee operation as well. So my left leg was slightly weaker than my right, although my left is my strong side. I had a knee op on my left leg, but now that my right foot has been operated, now
They're going to equalize.
so we're balancing it out.
Yeah.
Balancing it out. So for me, that's the most important thing, because we're not training to improve our golf. We're not training to improve our soccer. We're not training to be the best hockey player. We're training to be 80 years old and to be able to get up off the couch, to be able to reach the suitcase in the top drawer, to be able to walk, to play with my grandchildren in the waves. That's what we're living for. And I think young people don't have that mentality always.
We take it for granted that we actually can do all these things.
And then at the age of mid-40s, 50s, that's when people start to realize, you know what, I want to be 80 and still be able to do, have the quality of life that I have now. So that's my focus. So every now and then I'll get someone that wants to CrossFit or this or that, and I'll rather refer them to someone else, because I'm not about lifting as heavy as you can, as fast as you can. I'm about quality of life. We want to improve our quality of life.
Can we dive into
we'll
say the C word?
The C word.
We spoke a little bit about the myths of bulking up, but creatine is usually marketed more towards men.
Yes.
Can you tell us about what you find in the world of fitness?
Yeah, your
What is-
professional opinion.
What's the hype around creatine for women?